Hey, what's going on, everybody? We got a special treat today on the Mike and Rico Virginia Tech breakdown. We got a no legend in the house, none other than Mr. Neefy Moffett, ladies and gentlemen. It's a treat to have him. Thank you, brother, for coming on. Look forward to breaking this game down and getting your take. First of all, tell the folks where you're at now and what years you played and what you got going on currently.
Currently, I'm in Melbourne, Florida. I played at Florida State from '05 to '08. And I'm an author, I'm a mentor, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach. I call myself a coach in life.
There you go.
Um, it's like a mentoring coaching program, man, that can take you on any journey you're on in life.
Hmm.
Uh, that's where I take you, and that's where I go. And what I do is I help you create a plan, and then I'm with you every step of the ways until you can get to that plan. And then once you pursue it, we get another one.
That's awesome, man. One thing I can say about Neefy too, I walked on Florida State. It was '08. Believe it was your senior year. One thing I always liked about you, man, is you always treated everybody even keel. From the guys who was scout team guys, which I definitely was my junior year. You always treated us with respect, and I always respected that in you because you were a leader, you were a starter, you were a guy that was out there a lot, and I always admired the fact that he treated everybody within the program, from the guy bringing the juice to the guy running scout team to TC and P, P Rob and all the guys. You treated everybody even keel. I think that's really cool, and appreciate what you do in the community. Appreciate what you do for young people in the state of Florida.
And I appreciate that, man. Definitely means a lot to me.
Yeah, and Mike, you remember Neefy from back in the days when you were covering him in high school.
Yeah, yeah. Back in the day, Palm. I know for the younger folks, maybe they didn't realize like with Palm Bay, it used to have some really intense battles with Tallahassee Lincoln. They would battle them a lot for getting to state championship. And Palm Bay, it's an incredible place. I went there several times. Great atmosphere. Remember when he played? He played. A coach pretty much just played them wherever they needed Neefy. I mean, it was so good. And Neefy, I'm not mistaken, didn't your thing come down to FSU and Miami? I know a lot of kids went to Florida, but I think you were down to FSU and Miami when you chose between schools, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then eventually he chose FSU. Why did you pick FSU, by the way?
Really, man, I just prayed. I prayed, man. I love Miami, man. But that Miami
Yeah.
street life, not that street life, but that city life in Miami. I
Mhm.
mean, I prayed. Bobby Bowden was an FCA guy. I'm a Christian. I'm
Yeah.
a believer in Christ. So it's like, man, I prayed and the Lord put Florida State on my heart. So that's
There you
why I
go.
ended up going.
There you go.
I gotta ask you, Neefy, what did it feel like as a defensive player and a defensive lineman to get into the end zone? What was that like when you scored and you got into the end zone? Did you have a dance planned? Did you have anything choreographed? I know they wasn't letting us dance like they do nowadays, but did you have anything planned at that time?
Nah, it's actually a crazy story, man. We were in film Monday, Monday or Tuesday, and they're throwing all types of screens. And as defensive lineman, I hated screens. So I told coach, I said, man, I told Jody and Odell, I said, man,
Jody.
I'm gonna pick this off and take it back to the crib. And Odell said, well, what you gonna do with CJ Spiller? I said, I'm gonna drag him in there with me. It, and if you look at the picture, when I'm going into the end zone, CJ is hanging on my back.
That's funny. You can't make that up. You can't make that up. CJ Spiller, man, I remember trying to game plan for that Joker. He was a handful. He was
Oh
an
yeah,
absolute
man.
handful.
Had to try to contain them at some point. Don't let them get started. It's the best way.
Oh man, great stories. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to cut in the condensed game here. I'm going to do a share screen, and we're going to go ahead and kick this off and watch this game together. And we can stop it where we need to stop it, and just kind of break this thing down here. So as we start, get this going, make sure our screen is looking good here, and we'll just start with the kickoff.
Seminoles ready to go after enjoying a bye week last
What are
week,
you thinking of the vibe?
getting healthier and getting some good
Sellouts
reps.
again. Mike was telling me we were getting a sellout for the Duke game at noon.
Oh,
Syracuse
that's
game. Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
Oh,
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Warlock picks up a
I
first
mean,
down.
Here we
it feels like we're back at home. That's what we're used to.
All right, it's first offensive possession. You got any impressions on some of these skill players on offense, Neefy?
Man, we're so talented. We're so talented. We big, small, fast, strong. I mean, we have everything we need on the skill position. It's been a long time since we had that.
Yeah, we kind of did whatever we wanted to on this first drive. I mean, just getting first downs. Really, you couldn't call a bad play, it seemed like.
It looks like we're hungry.
Yeah, a lot of that was just skill, script stuff that they do a lot when they start in the offensive game. They kind of scripted kind of 8 or 9 plays that they want to run, and then if Jordan wants to change it, he can change it. Didn't change much. They kind of just saw what they're basic, and then that one was just they got Johnny on single, and then he just nice slant.
I counted 3 backs they used: Toa, Philly, Benson, and Rodney Hill. I think all 3 got first downs in that first drive. I mean, that's like that's an offensive coordinator's dream right there. Get all your backs in there, and then you finish with your number 1A to number 1B wide out in the end zone. Now we're doing some crazy stuff. I want to say this is Courtney that gets in the end zone here.
Yeah.
This had to be some type of film room special here. Somebody promised somebody. Somebody lost a bet.
Well, if you freeze it before that, Rico, and you go back, there's a certain alignment they're looking for of how many guys are on the left side. And you get up here, if we can get it right after the extra point when they're lined up and kind of point out some stuff. Okay, so
right here.
It's the amount of guys that they have, and they saw that they didn't have enough guys to block on one side, and then Courtney just has to beat one man to the end zone. They're not going to run it unless they see something where they're too far over one side. So I think they over pursued on one side, and then Courtney just had to beat this guy.
This looked like the play that the 2-point conversion play that Caleb ran against Arizona, I believe, in the second or third overtime. This looks kind of similar, where they just put the ass of the formation is all on the left. And then it's just basically one-on-one down here.
Right.
Man, Neefy, you should have told Jody to let you run this one time.
Listen, I was too busy thinking about running downfield on the next thing that want to go score.
All right, so we get in here, go back to our full stream.
Yeah.
And then here, look, if you are not
actually had a little zone read action. They really went to Morlock a lot in this first quarter, or really the first half. Morlock probably had 4 or 5 targets. And that's the tight end that they brought in the second transfer. They really like him. Here's our first defensive possession here, 3rd and 9. Get a PBU here. Nice to see Renardo Green getting a pass breakup. Really not a whole lot on defense there. It looks like we got off the field pretty quick.
Yeah, it was 3 and out. They didn't get a first down till I'd say 4 minutes left in the first quarter. So it was pretty 3 and out really quick. This is just more, Trey running between and doing his thing. Kind of, I think Neefy can relate to what he's seeing as far as the energy of what they're bringing on every possession, every snap, and man, those offensive linemen are really winning their battles.
Yep, and I look at it like they're outmanned, so it's like we have to run the ball. Like, don't force it. Take what they're giving us. If we're outmanned, take it all day.
Those 2 runs there, they're basically the same run. They ran the first one with Benson, and he hit it on the left side, and then Toa Philly just houses it here. And he's got a knack for body surfing guys in the end zone. Did it at Clemson a couple years ago, and this balance right here, man, he's looking like swag surfing into the end zone here. This is pretty special balance right there. That's pretty special.
Oh yeah.
The ball looked like it was over. I agree with you, partner.
We ended up getting the call there. So now we're up. This is kind of exactly what you would want. 15-0 to start the game. We're only halfway through the first quarter. And it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. You got to feel good at this point in time. So here we go. Another PBU. So it looks like we're showing a lot of the 3rd down stuff, kind of the highlights here. We're going to get some pass rush here coming up on a couple possessions. Let's see. We've got Keon Coleman on a punt return here. What are your impressions of Keon, Neefy?
I don't know how Michigan State let him go. I'm happy that they did. It's like, man, he reminds me of like seeing with that number 4 reminds me of Tony Carter. They have like the same kind of build, but he's just a little bigger.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. He kind of has a frame of like a Dakota Fag, but he moves like a Rich Goodman or something with like some type of blend of speed. He's a
Yep.
hybrid. We're using backs here. We're getting stuffed in the backfield there. Didn't have too many negative plays. Honestly, we were going forward for most of the game, and Trey obviously had a tremendous. Look at this grab by Morlock here. That's your number 2 tight end. All hands, nobody, all hands there.
Looking real Nick O'Leary-ish.
Yeah. You know, Nick's actually on the staff right now. This is the second one to Johnny here.
Yeah.
So now it's 22-0. You can't get a whole lot better than this. And they're hitting the dance. Man, they were on the sideline doing that for about 5 minutes. They ain't going to show it, though.
It's fun when you're doing it, when everything's rolling. A lot of this is this is more single stuff where they had him singled up and then he just had to beat his man to the corner.
That's a nice
Johnny,
ball by Jordan, too.
Yeah.
All right, we're showing extra points. It's good. We can talk about it. Fitzgerald. Neefy, last year I could not stop talking about the kicking game. The kicking game was bothering me. This year, the kicker's got more elevation. He's got more confidence. Big difference. All right, got a good rush here. If we could just get the hand on that ball, still stop them. That's our third third down that we got off the field.
They got to feel that screen.
Yeah.
We can
You got
actually
to feel it quicker. You got to You got to react faster when he's backing up like that. Like you got your linebackers and got to get over there quicker. He only gained 3 yards, but that play would have been a loss of 2 if the guys reacted a little bit quicker, a tick quicker.
So, Neef, when you're looking at this alignment here, you've got this motion going from right to left, going to what I would assume would be the strong side because you got that fullback / tight end over there on the left. What do you think in alignment assignment-wise off this motion?
Nothing. I'm not even paying attention to it. I'm looking at this tackle, looking light, looking at me, knowing that he's finna pass block. So that's just bells and whistles.
Okay, so we come off here. It looked like they did a little stunt. So we got him beat down here. So he really backed up. I thought the quarterback did a good job on the screen because you see how far back he is. I mean, dadgum, he's 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. So it's hard to get a mid on that ball. We had a good pass rush. Looks at the top of the screen. We've got our DN down here. If you look down where I'm pointing, that's Gilbert Edmond down there on the bottom, washed kind of down with 2 blockers. What's his job here on this play?
If you can go back for me a little bit, I'm looking at it. Looks like he should find number 3. It looks like a fire zone, and he should find number 3, and he just got caught up in the guards.
5 in the country.
Yep, there it is right there. So this is our DN here. And where should he be right now?
He has to fit outside of this one. He has to fit outside the back one and push it. He's a force player.
Okay.
So let's see if we let it get outside him.
Yep.
Yeah, you see how he spent outside? He knew it. He knew it.
Ends up being good. He ends up becoming the edge defender coming from inside. That's pretty good stuff. They're spilling it back inside. We got DJ Lundy. We got Fisk. We got a Cavalry coming. Akeem Dent's getting in the picture. And on 3rd and 10, we're meeting him only 2 yards into the play. And he gets in and gets on the tackle.
He made a great play.
So is that going to be a plus or a minus in the film room?
It's going to be a minus. He lost leverage early. Great fight at the end, but it's definitely a minus.
All right. Coach Neef giving you a minus, Gilbert. You're going to have to tighten it up. Tighten it up. All right, so we got a punt here coming back. Back to Coleman. 3 straight 3-and-outs. He caught this one. He kind of bounced and bobbled around. That got a little hairy there. Didn't end up hurting us.
Let's go back to the studio.
So let's see what we got here. 3rd and 9. Top of the second quarter here. Jordan's running, putting the plastic off a little bit, scrambling, getting down, getting hit in the back of the head. We can't get a call.
We got a call, right? It's called offensive holding. They didn't call the late hit. But
PI, no?
Oh, they should have called that one.
I feel like it'd take an act of Congress for FSU to get a penalty in our favor. Hey, CJ Campbell getting down there. All right, 2nd and 7. Oh, gashing us.
Nice carry here. Kept those pads low.
We got to have a mindset to stop the run.
Drones.
We pushed up too far. Yeah, this is a big play. Let's go back to this.
Inside the 10, it'll be first.
Let's go back here and start this over. All right, so we give up a big play in the run game here to start. Now we've got a 1st and 10 after a penalty, I believe. Where are we wrong right here?
This defensive end, he should have punched and pushed him back. He's sitting here waiting. He needs to push that pocket in so that he can't step up. So if he have his hands, he can get off because he has a two-way go because he turned to him.
Okay, and as we push up here, boom. So Fiske gets way outside here, and we've dove all the way inside. We're all the way on the right hash with this inside defender, and Lundy's got his back turned. So this is just, the highway just opened here.
The defensive end didn't push. Number 11 didn't push the pocket.
Look at this from the jump.
Running back of the week.
All right, here he is down here at the bottom of the screen. Yep, there's Pat Payton. So he's coming inside. So it looks like they're in some type of stun. He's coming inside. What should he be looking to do right here at this juncture?
He needs to hit him. He needs to hit the guard on the inside shoulder. And when they push off, the nose will come free.
Right.
He did a great job right here. He just didn't penetrate. The penetrator didn't penetrate.
We patty caked. We patty caked, Neef. He didn't put his hat on anybody.
Yep. Look, 75 going back in his lap. If the other one would have went back in his lap, everything's covered. It would have been a covered sack.
Right here, he gave up leverage. He had leverage inside, and now we're getting pushed back outside the right hash here. And then that's exactly where he goes.
He's got some real estate in front of him. Drones on his feet at the 25.
Yep, ends up being a big play there. Not what we want.
First and goal for Virginia Tech.
Not what we want.
Looking at the shot play,
They slow it down here.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
He initially pushes inside, like Neefy said. That pocket collapsed, and Fisk probably gets a sack.
Yeah. 3rd and goal here. Yeah, that's tough.
Just bad tackling.
Yeah, we're hitting them out of bounds. We got away with that one.
That's just bad tackling. That should have been a 4-yard loss.
And now here we're going ping pong style here. Bing. Hit off the top. There's the delayed dong. So we hold him here. We hold him to 3. It's 22-3 at this juncture. Now we've got the ball back. Let's see what we do. Right about the time offense bogged down. This was not a good second quarter.
Benson with nowhere to go. See if the Hokies defense can get off the field here on 3rd and 6.
Big coverage sack here. Got to get rid of the ball here.
Yeah.
He's got to get outside. Like, he's got to get outside the level so he gives them options of whether pass or Jordan can run. He didn't do that. He just stayed in there to wait for somebody, and then you can't wait that long. You have to make a decision of what you're going to do.
All right, so now we're 22-3, 7 minutes to go. They've got the ball, getting gashed again on the run.
I bet somebody was peeking inside.
You'll be on the plane, I'm sure.
All right, so what do we have here? They're 1st and 10 on their own 30. Start the drive off. We've got a simple handoff here coming from right to left.
The linebacker is supposed to fit outside if he's peeking inside. Everything is accounted for except that the C gap on the right side. That's where the linebacker is supposed to be. He has A gap to C gap.
Right.
He didn't get to that C.
Yep, and who we have here? We have Blake Nicholson, true freshman from California, playing in place of Tatum Bethune. Tatum Bethune was banged up. So these were a lot of valuable reps for Blake, and he's going to be a really good player. Still a little bit swimming. This defense by Coach Fuller. I don't know if you had a chance to meet Coach Fuller, Neef, but he's a very smart defensive coordinator. His defense is not the simplest to pick up, though. There's a lot of action, and there's a lot of things that he is putting down. It's tough for some of the younger players to get a hold of it. And I think we're seeing an example of somebody who's still swimming, trying to figure out what to do here. So he needs to be outside in the C gap to gobble this up. Everything else accounted for, and he did not get there. Dove inside and lost leverage completely.
Yep.
And that's how you get this big old run.
Aluminum tube ready
It
to
looks
fly.
like a true freshman. Look like he's just doing somebody else's job. Used to being the best player on the field. Hey, you just got to do your job.
That's a great point. All right, let's look at some good stuff here, though. Let's look at some good stuff here. This is Joshua Farmer making a play.
With the first down.
Let's see here. All right, so now they got first down, first play. Let's see what we get here at the top of the screen. I think 44 makes this play here. Boom, coming from the inside. Bam.
And stabbed him and punched inside. That was actually a great stab.
Got the hand on that one. Now, this absolutely pissed me off. This was ridiculous. Let's run this again. They called this a catch. Okay, great play by Farmer there. This was not a completion. Okay, the ball was drugged on the ground for about a yard, and they didn't even look at it. And this is a third down play. We're off the field. I mean, this is incomplete. It's ridiculous. And he ends up getting the first down here. And this is when Coach Norvell started going crazy after this because it just looked like they were doing whatever they could to try to get him back in the game.
It's a beautiful
Yeah, number 20, he got to get there.
And they're back in the top 10. There's a certain pride.
Neef, what do you think of this? What do you think of the tush push?
They don't make the D linemen. We were taught to get a yard and a half deep. Take their knees out. They got to give. So it doesn't matter if you take their knees out, giving. But we're not ready. That's the thing. They're down in the stance. We're not ready. We're not flat backs, butts up, ready to take off everything.
Yep, you're right. If you look down at Jared Verse was hardly even in his stance here. Watch down at the bottom of the screen 5. I know he's a stud, but he's not ready for the snap. That's how you lose 4th and 1 right there.
Yep, and he left his feet.
That's how close it is right now when you're talking about big plays.
All right, 3rd and 2, another short yardage. That's a
too far in.
Yeah, terrible throw. But now we got a 4th down, chance to get off the field here. And we're doing a lot of pushing and shoving, and we lose. Kalen DeLoach.
Over pursuit. He didn't square up. If he'd squared up, he had him measured, and he would have had help. But he didn't square up. He was trying to run him to the sideline. He over pursued.
Oh! That's a nice tackle by Cypress there.
Cypress came up from his corner spot.
Who was 99? Is that Malcolm Ray? Another one. Let's see if we get this one right.
99's Ray.
All right, so that's a great tackle by Cypress here. We get another 4th and 1. They snapping it quick. See if I can get there before they.
Good tackle. That might be short. Cypress came up from his corner.
Let's see if we're ready here. He's already about to snap the ball. Are we ready? No, we're not. Look down the bottom of the screen. That's 2 on this drive that you've seen where we're not ready for the snap on 4th and 1. What's if we're in the meeting room with Coach Mickey, what's being said?
Hey, you lose your one-on-ones. Look, you can't beat them if you're not ready. Hey, we got to be ready. Can't give them position.
We weren't here. I think this Gilbert Edmond down here at the bottom. I mean, he's not even close to ready. They're snapping, and we're just
they're not
getting beat again.
You can tell they don't hit the low boy no more. They coming up. That low boy, you can tell they don't hit the low boy no more.
You think this is going to be a problem going forward?
4th down 3 times already on this drive. Drones all the way down to the 5-yard.
What I don't think so.
What happened here?
Gave up leverage.
Containment.
Touchdown. Tootin in motion.
All right, let's go here. This play here was tough.
5-yard line.
Game's in control still. You hold them to a field goal, you're 22-6. 2nd and goal here, 51 seconds left. I mean, again, we don't really look like we're ready to come off the ball here. And it's like at this point, you feel like you're going to win the game. But the goal is to dominate it, and it's to play to a standard. And it just feels like this moment here was disappointing because I felt like we could have took a stand.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot with us. I mean, people look at how good we are. I look at, like, we're not finishing like relentless Seminoles, man. Like, we have to finish. That's one thing we did, everything we did especially on defense. We finish. We played man to man. You know, they're in a lot of these fancy defenses, but they're not finishing. And if we could have had these opportunities, man, it would have been amazing, man. I just wish like the essence, like that's the thing about the transfer portal. They don't really get the finishing aspect in the Florida State mindset, the relentlessness.
Yeah,
That's the thing you hear from Odell when you're at practice every day. It's finish.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for 30 years. That's why he says it. Like you got to finish the plays, and you can see right here they're not set. They're not ready to go, and then they don't contain leverage. That's it.
What's going on down here? We've got Lundy's running into the end here. It looks like
it's a tight end in between them.
Yeah, he's releasing. And so we've got two pullers here. So we know there's going to be some action coming out here to the left side. At this point right here, I would really like to see Cypress come meet this. And this sucks. And I've been there many times because Jimbo used to run this crap and make the scouts go time and time again. I don't know how many times I ran into Zebri and Datco. Still got a headache doing it. But you got to get your ass up here and you got to meet them. If you're the edge defender, you can't wait because this is a lot of man coming towards you. And you can't wait and sit there, and you'll see what happens to Cypress here in this play. But what's going on right here? What needs to happen from a defensive end standpoint?
So the defensive end needs to try to get a handout or stop the second puller. He should stop the first one, and if he can stop the second puller and go 1-for-1, somebody will be free.
All right, so it looks like Lundy tries to get a hand on this puller. So does Gilbert have enough time to get to 77 here, or should he just beat underneath Lundy and try to cut him off?
Lundy should be over top and get to that outside shoulder because he's contained and push it back inside to the other one. But since they're both inside, the back just going to get to his shoulder. He get to that number 5, and he got it.
Motion.
Yeah, so at this point, back actually ducks inside. But like you said, we'd never maintained the outside leverage, and you've got spillers coming in. You've got Verse here. You've got Fiske. So if we could have just maintained outside leverage here and spilled him all the way inside, yeah, this maybe gets down to the 2 or the 3, but it probably is not a score.
Yeah, when you got 2 guys inside, one falling, and now you got a tackle on a DB, touchdown.
Yeah, boom. I love the hustle here from Fiske, though. Watch Fiske hustle this play down. This is pretty awesome. 55 comes in the screen, just diving right here. This guy's motor is pretty awesome.
Side of the field, Tootin, turning the corner.
Got hands on him, couldn't get there. Yeah, that was disappointing turn of events there. I was hoping that we'd be able to keep him to 6. So they end up scoring right before the half. And, you know, we weren't feeling as good as we were. We're up 22-0. We were rolling. We were in control. And now it's like we got a bit of a dogfight on our hands.
Nice hurdle for him. Yes.
Yeah, as good as they played in the first quarter, they played equally, just poor in the second. There wasn't kind of what Neefy talked about, just there wasn't the focus and the fight and the energy to meet your man every time. Whether it's, containment or it's just, being ready on those 4th and 1s, so I think a lot of that was really just eye discipline
going on here.
Yeah, it's just eye discipline and focus.
That's a whiff by Maurice Smith there, 53. That's putting your quarterback in some harm's way. Oh, man, special teams. This hurts my heart. 47 came way inside. 20, you got it. Come on, Azarea, you're better than that. Fitz got to make that play. CJ give great effort, but we get dusted. So now it's 22-17. Now we're absolutely in a bog fight.
Yep.
What's going through your mind when you're watching this right here at this point, Neef? We're 22-0. Now it's 22-17.
Our lack of focus. We started moving forward, and we don't finish anybody. We haven't finished anybody. Like, I haven't been impressed with us to the playing a whole game. We haven't played a whole game yet.
Right.
Yeah. So now at this stage, now it's 22-17. Little rustles and bustles in the crowd. So now we have the ones back out on offense. And now it's like, let's see a championship drive. Let's see what we get here.
First and 10. Play fake.
And we get our number 1 wide receiver really rung here. Gets his bell rung. I'm going to pause it right here. If we go back to this play, this was a pretty big hit. He'd gone across the middle a couple different times. And so he gets sandwiched here. The one thing I don't like and it's not a critique because I think we have a great medical staff. They do a good job taking care of the kids and everything else. When I saw this play, I instantly thought concussion. That's instantly what I thought. And you don't want to stand a kid up too soon, because then if it's not a concussion and you stand him up and he's wobbly, then you're going to look really terrible if you put him back in the game. Like, Rich, you kind of like play your card. If you stand him up, you better be sure he's good. We don't do that. We end up standing him up. He looks wobbly. Obviously, he's down. He's in this kind of fetal position here, and I ended up losing him for the game. I wish we would have took a little more time. But Super Trey comes in, great cut, and just off to the races. Who does Trey Benson remind you of?
He reminds me of a thick not Jonathan Taylor. What was JT name? Jermaine. What was
Thomas? Florida.
Yeah.
Oh no, Jacksonville.
We'll just go ahead and unleash Trey Benson on you.
He reminds me. He runs hard, but he's thicker.
He is. Yeah, he is thick. He doesn't. His body style. He doesn't look like he'd be a high 4.3 guy, but he might be. He's got some serious speed.
He's one of the fastest players on the team. He has run they do a GPS thing that Neefy I know knows about. They tack you, and he was up in that same range of Dalvin Cook's speed. So I mean, he can motor. He can go.
All right, Neefy, here's my man down here. It's my boy, Pat P. He comes off the ball like a bat out of hell. What are we seeing here with this get off? Ooh, timed it nice.
That's a great get off. He got a dip though. He has to get to that hip and get behind that foot. If not, he's just gonna push him out of the way. When he opened up like that, he's too high. He got to put that foot in the ground and run right through his chest.
So you're saying if his right foot was stacking that offensive tackle's right foot right now, and he was lower, this is a sack.
So his right foot where it's going, he should point to the quarterback. It looks like he's gonna get it upfield.
Oh well, he got pushed. He got completely mushed out of the way.
He's too high.
And then so he ends up tracking all the way out here, where if we run it back, if we could stop it here. And I love breaking this down right here. Boom. If he could wind up here, right? Even if he came in here, we'd be okay. He ends up way out here.
Yeah, you turn the hoop at 5.
Yeah, so we're just getting pushed out. So is this a technique thing, Neefy, or do you think this is a weight room thing?
It's just a technique. Dip under those hands. You dip under those hands and now you're squirting. So, he's up and he's tall. So he has to dip under those hands because his blocking surface is huge. He's just giving him too much blocking surface.
The get off was great. He's got to dip and he's got to get a little skinny there, get a little lower. But this kind of been a theme, though. Would you agree throughout just all the highlights we've been looking at? It's a bend thing. It's a flat back, ass in the air, being ready to go. It's a being ready. I think we could really improve on that and just our body positioning. It's costing us on 4th and 1s. It's costing us sacks. I'm starting to see a theme. Am I the only one seeing it?
Nah, I hate it. Like we should never, Clemson 2008, 2006 comes to mind when we weren't ready. Mm-hmm. So our D-line always has to be ready at every moment.
Yep.
Well, he did get a hand up. It was a little too late. Tremendous one-hand catch right there. Now Virginia Tech has got the ball here. They're rolling a little bit. See what they do. We really needed to get off the field here. And here we go. Here's one we got to break down here. This is what Mike's been waiting to see. This is the Jared Verse Mike's been waiting to see.
But not only that, Peyton's job of forcing him in. If you go back to that play, he didn't give him any room to go. He pushed the pocket in. He pushes him right into it, and then Verse just has to whoop his man, and he did it. But I think Neefy said it all. The want to, and a lot of it's just technique focus. They do this thing every day in practice. This is not something that is really new to them. They know it's just about being focused on assignments. That's it.
Yep. Ooh, that's a get off there.
Takeoff. Look like Eric
Times
Brown.
2. Yeah. Hey, he was there. 99 was there. Great get off at the top. Great get off at the bottom. All right, what are we doing with these hands over here on 65, Neef? What are we doing with the hands right now?
You see how he pinned his right arm. So now since he pinned his right arm, the only difference between the first play and the second play, Verse pinned his right arm. Now he's gonna rip and squirt. He's gonna squirt because he can't get that left. He can't get that left arm up.
Boom. And now he's got him in his sights. So now what should Peyton do down here at the bottom of the screen? So obviously, should Peyton come underneath here, seeing that he's got his fellow edge rusher that's beating him over the top?
Nah, he still got to push it at 6.
Okay. And there we go. Boom. I love the fact that he went for the ball there. Almost got it out. Almost got it out.
39-yard line.
Come back from the top of the screen. Beats him. Get that ball out. There we go. Farmer gets in on a little bit.
Look, Von Miller told me once pass rush is all about get off. Watch it. He shot out of a cannon.
Boom.
He had Xavier.
It's a good job by drones to protect the ball. I thought that thing was coming out. Oh, this one right here. This one right here. All on his mask. All on his mask. This one bothered me, but I was telling another great get off. Look at this get off by Peyton down here at the bottom. But watch the right tackle here get all in his face. You know, I was telling him, I mean, you guys, I mean, y'all didn't have this problem because we had some DNs back when you were there that would punch you in your shit if you got the hands all on the mask. It's telling him, like, if you don't want him holding you and grabbing your mask, beat his ass because he gets all in his face right here.
Exactly.
Look at this. That's a hold.
But you see that right foot, that if that right foot was in some more under his body, if it was under his hip, he still would have squirted through. It's just like the little technical things, man, pointing that toe at the quarterback and where he's going to be and powering through him. Once you get that speed, now you got to speed the power and get through him. You're going against half of his body. Make him open the door.
I've been saying, I've been super impressed with Pat Peyton. He reminds me a lot of Brian Burns. And I think if Pat is able to get another 15, 20 may be asking a lot, but if you get another 15, particularly on his lower half, he could be ridiculously good next year because I think he'll have the power to kind of do what you're saying. And he works on that technique. His get off is crazy. And this tackle gets all in his face right here. Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a hold and that's a hands to the face. I don't know what we got to do to get the call. I mean, look at the steal right here. Look at the tackle's right hand. It's right across his face on his mask, and he's holding him. He's beat. We don't ever get this call. Did we not get these calls? Was Rod Cherry doing this to us back in the day?
Well, nah, we had a different, like, you never read our numbers. So, you know, my critique is a little different. As an end, we should never be able to read his numbers. He shouldn't be standing up coming through. He should be powering through that. And the quarterback, the tackle, and everybody's going down. The tackle is tackling me on the quarterback. When you break, that's when things start bracing and you start hurting yourself.
Yeah. Well, he almost gets there. Ends up being a catch, but it's out of bounds. So we get the score to come out of half, big time. We get a stop coming out big time. And then now we get the ball back. Would really like to see a score here. This Destin Hill, I know, Mike, I know this makes you feel good seeing Destin Hill get a big play.
Yeah, great back shoulder catch. Shielded the defender really well as far as on the play. Jordan put it where you need to do on the opposite side, and then, Destin just pulled it in. And
it's why they don't want him running. They tried to take his head off.
Yeah, Travis kind of remind me of Jameis when he's running. It's just scary.
Too tall. All right, so we got a fourth down coming up here. I believe we go for this. No, or do we kick the field?
We go
for it. All right.
Norvell's going to go for a 4th and 1.
Yeah, he went off that left. He went off that left guard.
He's not going to kick when it's 4th and 1.
He likes to just run out here, take an outside release.
All right, end up. I don't think we got this now. Short of the sticks. Good job by Vocek keeping contained there. This was a top 10 defense coming in. Virginia Tech was. You could argue maybe they didn't play some of the best offenses, but they weren't bad defensively. They had some good-looking athletes. They did a pretty good job on us for the most part, save for some explosive plays. All right, 2nd and 15. It's a pass rusher down here. Screen.
We definitely, our awareness definitely has to be up more.
Let's go back to it. That didn't look good. Let's roll it back here. All right, field goal comes through. I think they're going to cut right to the 2nd and 15.
Yep.
15 points.
All right. 2nd and 15. You know, long down the distance, Neefy. What are we thinking here on the D line, 2nd and 15?
Screen. So we got to retrace. Once they get light, we got to retrace. Try to get to them before, but retrace. It's a big screen now.
So what are you seeing when you look at these tackles? You look at that left tackle, that left guard. Look down there at that right tackle. Ain't no way I think this is a run.
Not at all. I'm trying to get into him as fast as I can to get my move off.
All right, let's see what we do.
2nd and 15.
See, not really a get off here. We kind of just – it's almost like we were not really trying to get to the quarterback on this play. I'm not sure what the call was, but we don't even really get upfield crazy fast. I think Fiske ends up getting upfield more than anybody. All right, so now at this point, they're seeping through. We got to know something's up here. So it's like if you commit here, we've got to get a hand on the ball because now they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra hats on the ball. This is going to be a problem for us. When you reference retracing, what are you talking about?
So when you go through, you turn around, you have to retrace your steps. So if you take 3 steps forward on the line, you need to turn around and run because they're running right by where you left. And if you look at it, they're getting the ball right where they left.
Yep, they are.
So now if they're 3 yards back, now it's traffic. And now those big guys are going to pick off the big guys and leave the little guys to make the tackle.
All right, so this is out the gate. We're looking here. We've got 1 defender. If he doesn't make the play, we're misaligned here. Probably our best athlete at linebacker, Deloach, is way down here in between the hashes. It's going to be nearly impossible to him to beat feet and get over here, so we'll see what happens. Boom. Lundy can't get there. Now we're off to the races. Now Akeem Dent, we gotta play some type of contain here. Bernardo Green, you got to rally up. Deloach, you got to rally up and take an angle.
Green, middle screen, Thomas.
Thank God 77 tripped him.
Nice game. Wonderful execution.
If you go back, I think it was number 1. Right when he accelerates, and that forces the lineman to try to slow down. So he accelerated right there, and that made him slow down. And that's
because he was going to go. Yeah, he was going to go try to pick him up. He thought he was going to dive in.
Yep.
Middle screen, Thomas.
Well, anytime you get big boys running in space, man, they can't all be as graceful as Neefy.
Wonderful execution.
This guy probably cost him at least 20 yards. Here we got a slow motion here. Yeah, big boy doesn't get to run out here very often, and it shows.
He trips his own guy.
In Vegas.
I'm happy he was looking inside, and he just didn't stay outside.
It's cracking all right. Coverage begins with the point.
Yeah, they get the first down here.
3rd and 1.
Yep. We didn't get it. Oh, ball squirts out.
Yeah, the tackle. I think Peyton actually made a good play there. He popped his hand in there right when he dug his head down.
I always look for a fake here. I thought they would fake it right there. They didn't. So they kick it back to us. Here we go. Here's Keon. Looking like a top 10 draft choice according to Mel Kiper. I think he's in the top 10. So now we have a chance to take serious control here. Here's Travis running. I think we get some type of penalty here. Or no, this is first down. Nope. Batted down. Yeah, this drive ended up not doing much. Got stoned here. End up kicking it back. Now we're into the 4th quarter, so now it's winning time. See what our coverage looks like here. Good job, CJ. Here come down. 3rd and 1. All right, do we like what we're seeing on this 3rd and 1? Have we improved as the game's gone on?
We improved in this, where at least we're making contact on their side of the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Looks like
no feet, Ryan.
Yeah, we're still kind of playing, I guess, dead even. It's not going to work on 3rd and 1. They end up picking this up, gashed us.
For Malachi Thomas, who lacerates that front.
Another 3rd and 5. All right, 3rd and 5 with this alignment. How are these linemen looking to you? They looking light on their feet? This look like a pass play?
Yeah, I'm looking at the tackle He's looking at the defensive end. He's not blocking somebody with a run, looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
They got to get to the 45. Drones, Tootin.
Boom.
That's Lane.
It's the first one from Hussey. Let's run that back real quick.
Thomas,
Give number 12 his birthday boy. So 3rd and 5.
They got to get to the 45.
We don't get upfield at all. Almost like we're trying to, I don't know, set up some type of wall or something. Conrad, where does he come from here?
Drones.
All right, he's way up here at the top. Freshman birthday boy. This is first down, I know, but I do like the contact, as a young Dakota Watson used to say, some contact coming from the safety spot. He's got another bigger one coming. But, this is another 3rd down we gave up. Too many 3rd downs, too many 4th downs. Bow. He said some choice phrases afterwards. I won't share because we keep this a family show. But he let everybody know he was in the ball game. 2nd and 20. All right, 2nd and 20. What can we run on 2nd and 20? What are we thinking here, 2nd and 20?
Screen.
Let's see what we get.
No lapses in communication.
Yep, something in the flat. Ooh, got him stacked. Do we like that get off there? Do we like that pass rush? Let's run that back.
No big plays, no lapses in communication.
That's not bad. You like what he did with the hands there, or we still a little sloppy?
I mean, he's still too high for me. I can read the 19 clear, but just after he escaped, he has to dip and explode. Dip and lift and explode. Right there.
Clean pocket. Gonna move his launch point. Incomplete, just missed Lane.
What was the call here, Mike? What did they call on this play?
I don't know. I don't think
Maybe
it was
it's a
against
hold.
them. I think it was a hold against them.
Thomas in the backfield.
I know they got a 1st and 10. They called something.
They called a deep. That's right. They called a defense a hold on the DB.
Getting gashed on this run here. That's what we got.
Thomas in the backfield.
All right. So we got 19 down here, Gilbert Edmond. So now they run blocking here because they're meeting us on, I guess, our side of the line of scrimmage is close, but they're getting a little bit of a push. What do we need to do here?
It looks like the linebacker needs to fit inside and everybody just maintain their gap. Oh, he got off, so that means the tackle should be free on the inside. The tackle has to make this play. Oh, too high. Look, he got too high and opened it up. Now there's nobody in the big gap.
Yep, and now we're off to the races here.
The ball found a crease over the left side and picks up another 1st down.
Yeah, got to clean that up. 3rd and 10.
Good takeoff, nice move. There we go. That's how it's supposed to be. No hesitation, no concentration.
They give him the ball.
All right, here's a run. All right, now we get a big 3rd and 10 here coming up. Let's look at this get off. Oh, yeah.
Hit him with that hesitation. There you go. Now watch. This is the difference between number 5 and number 19. Now when he's engaged, he's going to accelerate. He's engaging. He's going to power through and accelerate. You see that? Low. He can't do nothing but push him to it.
Boom. They met at the quarterback. Great move by 5. That's number 2 on the day. Mike, you were waiting for that. Oh, they got a little happy there.
Yeah, he just got a little jump. I mean, but on that play, he's just, there was a lot of trash talking from what I was hearing from that offensive line adverse, and I think he really just.
This is crazy.
That's just
a freaky play. A little push in the back. It's now 4th and 22. I mean, this is worth breaking down here because these are the kind of plays that can really hurt you going forward. 4th and 22, what can they be running?
They got to hold the ball. And if they max protect, I mean, you should sit. They're just going to try to run like a over or a post or something like that. Get somebody on the dig and try to get them to the 1st down, make one miss.
Let's see what we get here.
Pick up the 1st down.
A lot of this, they're just slipping the guy in the middle as you see the first guy, or they're trying to get as Neefy said, a deep ball, and then nobody's containing the middle. Like nobody.
Well, we got verse here, and then it's almost like we really commit to the outside and we miss. Oh, he's got him. He's got him with his left hand.
But there's nobody in the middle. So once he gets past that, the other guy's going to shield him, and bam, he's off.
Oh, we miss here on the doggone left side as well.
Yep.
Escapes the rush.
And we're off and running.
He's gonna run.
Oh, we get broke down. Conrad got his ankles took.
Let's see what
But
else
Good.
he got 21, but he needed 22. So we get off the field here. Now, first play.
Gone.
Not a whole lot to say here, but look at the back of my jersey. That's a long run.
He's deceptively fast.
It ain't deceptive when you see him. I mean, it's like the thing with Cray is like, yeah, it's not really great when he first starts the first 5 steps. That's the difference between him and Dalvin. When Dalvin went, Dalvin's like a Porsche. Like with this one where he gets going, and once he gets going, that top end speed is ridiculous. Like, I mean, it's like you see it, you keep running it, you'll see the dude have an angle, and he just breaks it like that breaks that angle.
And that
I
guy,
love what I'm. Yeah. Go ahead.
I said that guy looked really fast. Like he had the angle, and he just outran it. Like wow.
Yeah, just pure speed.
Down at the bottom of the screen, Keon Coleman, man. This is if you're gonna block
Great
like
blocker.
this.
Yeah,
If you're gonna block like this, man, you're gonna get drafted high. Kid is an electric athlete in the air to go get the ball. They say you got to double me if you want to cover me. I mean, he's got the confidence, he's got the speed, he's got the knack for the big moment, and he's a special teamer. And he does this, which springs these runs. You know, just running this guy. Look at him; he's just mollywopping this dude, just running his feet.
He essentially blocked 2 guys. If you look at how he shielded the second guy, the guy couldn't come over and cut that lane over. You know, so he did
He's
that.
still running them. We're 10 yards down the field.
Yeah.
And I mean, at this point, it's gone. It's out the gate.
Yeah, he's gone.
And then, yeah, this guy thought he had an angle. He did not. Your trigonometry was wrong. Your geometry was off.
85 yards.
Big day for Trey, man. 200 yards on the ground. Haven't had that since Dalvin Cook. Neefy, do you think Trey can be a better pro than Cam Akers?
Great pull there.
You know, with how the NFL is doing, it's gonna be hard with the running backs. But you know, being healthy is the number one thing, man. You know, he can be in the right system.
I got to tackle better here. That should not happen.
And picked up the first down.
They don't do big 4.
By Jalen Lane.
Going forward into the month of October and November in terms of depth and health and being able to play effectively for 4 quarters.
No, we had this strung out. I thought.
Takeoff was bad.
In terms of depth and health and
They're not even moving. They haven't even done anything yet.
Yeah, 77's already in his pull.
The ball's already snapped. Still haven't gone in.
We're down here still standing, still watching.
Being able to play effectively.
Now, this looks like it's designed to go right, and it's gummed up, and he ducks inside. We still got no push here.
4 quarters.
He's deacon and dunking and trying to go right again. Goes right. Nah, I think I'll come back here, cut back left.
Yeah, because there's no push. There's no push.
Yeah. We've had better reps on the D-line than that.
That was better.
Good play. Way to break that up. Jarian. Good play, Jarian. At this point, we've pretty much iced it. Keon coming through again. I don't know if we can get this this big hit. I don't know why they're not showing this big hit.
It's coming. This is right when it is, Rico. It's like right after this possession.
No, I think we're going to miss it.
Could be right. It showed it. We saw it earlier. See, Tate was too quick to give up on the play.
Tiger King, that's right.
I want to see if I can't find that doggone
Split
hit.
the
I think it's
proceeds of
maybe
the
around the
sales with his
7-minute,
offensive line.
6-minute
Now
mark.
that, Lewis, would-
Nah, I think they just cut it out.
Tony, we're
Killing
stepping
Conrad
into
Hussey.
him being able to
That's
find
all right. We're gonna find it.
and redemption.
There's the fumble. No,
Nice move and run up
that's
the
a
middle.
nice run.
And a late
Just
hit
personal
I
foul.
on
don't
Doom.
know why they won't show it.
Commit a penalty like this is to go ahead and hit somebody out of bounds. I prompt striving to get better, and
So
that
that's
kind of
gonna be
thing
on
right there. Oh,
That's going to be on the tape.
it's
Huh?
going to be on tomorrow. Well, you guys are going to sit up in the chairs.
There it is.
Happy about that.
Who hit him? Who hit him on that
2
play?
2 minutes to play.
That was a great ball hit.
Drone still in a quarterback.
All right.
That's where Hussey just ripped the ball out.
Yep.
Or is it blown down?
So Conrad had a huge hit. I'm going to show it in a different screen here. And then he ends up getting a fumble recovery here. Ripped it out, got the fumble, ended up with a couple tackles. We take a knee. We're done with this ball game. Let's go ahead and bring in this hit if I can. I've got some kind of strange version of it. For whatever reason, it's not gonna give me the real version that I want. But let's see, we'll run it here. Yeah, it's giving me a weird version here, but Neefy, tell me what this puts you in the mind of here. He's coming down here. He's gonna be a bolt of lightning coming from left to right. Yagam!
Reggie Bush, first game who is they playing? The Eagles? Reggie Bush, welcome to the NFL hit.
Oh, man, I've got to get a clean version of that. I can get it on the TikTok and the Twitter, but I guess it's too violent for YouTube's. So overall takeaways. We'll start with you, Neef. Appreciate you again being on the show. Wisdom, knowledge. It's awesome to have that experience, and it's awesome to have another Nole brother on the show. What's your takeaways from this game? I know we've talked about finishing. Overall, is the progress? I mean, it is Virginia Tech. We did get them by 3 scores. What's your overall takeaways?
I mean, we played well, but we haven't made that step to be a dominant team yet. We're a very good team, but we're not a dominant team yet. Even in the play calling and the players and it just trickles down. Like we haven't established to dominate yet. It's 12 personnel. Go 12 personnel and run those backs. When we needed something, we did it, but we should have did it and then played off the play action, and we should have just enforced our will once we got up.
Okay, Mike, what was your takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, we know they respond. If you go through every game, their response is very good. Like the adversity of the response, they respond, but they don't play the whole way. Like when they did the first half, on it, jumping on it, winning the line, dominating in that point, but they don't know how to dominate from a long-standing, situation for the whole game, and that's showing in these games where Neefy's pointing out their technique is getting flawed, their technique of what they're supposed to do, and they're getting out of that, so they just have to stay more locked in and consistent of what they're doing, repetitious over and over. That's why Mickey did those reps with you guys over and over and over so you won't get it wrong. And that's what's happening when you watch a lot of these breakdowns. It's little just technique, hand stuff, getting low, stuff like that. And they have to just be more consistent what they're doing. They can be really good, and they can be to the great team and dominant team that Neefy just referred to, but they have to do those things. Like, you're not going to be that great team until you do that, and it's going to eventually burn you if you don't start getting consistent with your play.
Neefy, what do you think personnel-wise? I mean, you came in 05, and I know we had a little dip there in 06, 07, little substandard. 2008, for those who don't know, I know that was your senior year. We win the ACC if them boys don't tear up the union and beat up a bunch of fraternity guys. We ended up having no receivers for that Boston College game. I think people kind of forget that Florida State had a lot of players from that 04, right after we were coming off that elite, 20-year run. Really, it's about 20 years where we were elite. that 05, 06, 07, that group, man, there was some elite players. When you look at our roster now, do you feel like we're on par with where we were when you came in?
Like where right now our roster looks like where we look like when I left. When I first got in, we had 4 first rounds on the defense. So like in that draft with Ernie, Cam, Camardi,
Yeah.
and Broderick Bunkley.
Yeah. Bump.
So that was like, we're not there. But
Yeah.
at the latter end, with Everett, Pat, Dakota, Nigel,
Brandon.
Brandon wasn't there yet. Brandon got there in the spring after I left.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Vince, Nigel, Everett, Pat, Myron. We were solid throughout, and I think that's where they are now.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm looking at the roster flip. 2 years ago, if you were to watch a Florida State football game, it's like, man, this staff has to coach their ass off because it just wasn't a ton of talent there. The talent influx has been pretty impressive. We've crushed the portal. Really, you're a safety away if Akeem Dent can stay healthy. Maybe he'll be that guy. Conrad Hussey is a freshman. He's going to come in and make some plays. Linebacker, we're not deep, but we're pretty talented. I love 10. The leaps and bounds that Lundy's made. And then Tatum Bethune is a hell of a player. And then, of course, Deloach, everybody knows what he's doing after that Clemson hit, that strip stack wackadoodle for 6. Defensive line, it's one of those deals where the talent seems like it's there. I mean, if we could get Darrell Jackson back, you'd have a rotation of Lovett, Jackson, both NFL guys, in my opinion. Fiske looks like he'll have a good shot. You got Farmer in there, and then you got your ends. I'd just like to see, and you've had some great, some great material on Peyton with some of the rush. I mean, I feel like versus there, it's just an effort thing. Is he going to give you 100%? 100% of Jared Verse is probably an All-American. He's a preseason All-American. 100% of him, every snap is going to be pretty damn dominant. And then if we can just get that backside in, if we can get Peyton to put it all together, get Edmund to put it all together, this defense looks like it has the personnel. I agree with you. I don't know that we have, 4 first rounders on the D line. I think that's probably a no. I don't know if we have 4 first rounders on the entire defense. The back end looks decent to me. It doesn't look great. Florida State for years, we had DBU. I know while I was there, I mean, we had Tony. I mean, Myron was a hell of a player. Pat was unbelievable, first rounder. And then, of course, we had G. Reed come in there. We had Zayro come in there. We had Nick Moody on the back end, T. Parks. I mean, we have some. I don't think we have that. We don't have those bodies right now. But I do think we have some upgraded personnel, especially when you're talking about in relation to 2 years ago. And it's just the effort. You called it out, Neef, and you've called it out, Mike, the effort from start to finish. We shouldn't wane. Championship teams don't wane. If you were to ask me what's the difference between us and a Georgia, us and a Michigan, us and an Ohio State, I don't see that wane defensively in effort. Those kids, yeah, you might beat them, but you're going to have to call a hell of a play. Sometimes it's like our effort kind of wanes still. And I don't know if that's still buy-in or if that's just merging all of the portal stuff. So that was kind of one of my takeaways. And just it felt like this was a game we wanted to run a bunch of plays, play a bunch of guys, which I'm fine with. Mike, I talked to you earlier today, and I said I'm good with beating them 39-17 if we get a bunch of, young guys some reps. But just want to see the standard. Like, let's establish the standard because now it's no longer win a state title. We did that last year. Now, ACC title, cool, we want that, but we want to be playing in that top 4. And so I'll redirect the question. Neefy, is this a top 4 playoff football team to you?
We can be, and I'm gonna say something that I haven't heard anyone say about us. I think consistently on defense, if we stop giving up big plays, and Jordan Travis, if he just plays, sometimes he, to me, seems like he try to do too much. If he just get the ball out of his hands, run when it's open, get the ball in those guys' hands, we are a top 4 team. We're a top 2 team in the national championship. But it's just a matter of consistently believing that, hey, get the ball out of my hands, get it to these guys. Defense, play. Stop playing not to lose. Stop playing not to get beat, but play to win. And I think I think that, with how college football is this year, We can win a national championship.
Mike, you agree?
Yeah, I do. I agree with everything he said. I mean, I think it's really a lot of it's just small stuff to clean up. It's an attitude. When you play. Back when Neefy played and all these championship teams played, and uh, it's about an attitude to bringing it and cleaning up what you're doing and consistently playing that level because it's like contagious when you play that well. And they need that contagiousness on their defense and even on offense. I mean, they go where they get sloppy and they just don't reassess them as far as the next series, and they're letting each series affect that. We saw that a few times in this game. So once they clean that stuff up, yes, yeah, when they were doing what they were doing with the 22-0 lead, yeah, that's a top four playoff team for sure when you watch it.
Yeah.
But they're not showing that for the large number of the game. They're doing it in spurts, so you have to show it a complete package if you want to be there.
Well, that's going to be the material that we've got. Virginia Tech Week. We broke it down. We brought a Nole legend for you, a guy who could break down film. Neefy, you going to make it to any of the games the rest of the season? Man, we might need you to hop into the film room, man. You might have to go in there with Coach Patch and whip some guys into shape.
Yeah, man. I love to get in and talk to the guys, man. Just what it really means to be like a Seminole, man. Like, we got a lot of transfers and I'm happy for the portal. But like at our core, man, we outwork everyone. We're big, strong, and fast, and you're not gonna outwork us. And once they get that mindset that we're good enough, and when we go out and play, we're good enough, man, the sky's the limit for those guys.
Well, man, I greatly appreciate you coming on, Neef. Great brother, great individual. You do a lot of great stuff in the community. You're a Nole legend. It's a pleasure to have you. Mike, it's a pleasure to have you as always. Neefy, we're going to ask you back, man. We're gonna ask you back. If you got time, you welcome anytime.
Oh, man, I love this, man. I feel like I'm in the film room. I'm getting excited just watching it.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you. That's all we got, guys. Thank you very much. Neefy, thank you again. Mike, thank you again. And Neefy, we're going to be reaching back out to you, man. We're going to be reaching back out to you.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Thank you for having me.
All right. Signing off.